Bo, the Guardians lost last night in the series opener against the Padres. Luis Ortiz, a bit of a disappointing debut for Cleveland.
He was awful.
All right, you go.
Spade to spade.
Yeah, I tell you, I couldn't even make it through the whole game. I was so tired. I was literally at one point in the middle of this game, I'm sitting on my couch watching the game. And you know me, I can watch baseball all the time. But I'm like, at one point I was kind of holding my eyes open. I was so tired. They were playing like crap. They were so tired. I was like holding my eyes open because I'm falling asleep. I'm sitting on the couch watching this game. I don't even know what time it was, 12:15 or I don't know what it was. And eventually I gave up because obviously it was very clear that the Guardians were not going to win this game. It's interesting. You know, Ortiz was the big part of the Andres Jimenez trade. You remember back in the winter, it was a 3-team trade that Jimenez went to the Blue Jays, and the Guardians got some minor leaguers and Ortiz from the Pirates. And Ortiz didn't have much of a track record, but he had pitched really well for the Pirates the second half of last year. Now, one thing about that is the Pirates were not in contention, and there's, no pressure playing for Pittsburgh. There's nobody at the games, and he pitched very well. Well, since the Guardians got him, he was terrible in spring training, and I don't put too much stock into spring training. But I do a little more with younger players because older players in spring training, I don't care if they suck because they're experimenting, they're working on things, it's irrelevant. But for a young player who's really just establishing himself, I pay a little more attention to what they do in spring training. And Luis Ortiz was consistently getting smoked in spring training. Then the season starts, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what to expect from him. I liked what I saw from him at the end of the last year, but I didn't like how he was throwing in spring training. And this was obviously a terrible start. I believe he allowed 11 base runners.
4 walks. Steve, go back to...
was it 7 hits?
I believe that's what it was, yeah.
I mean, there was...
9 hits,
13 base runners, even worse.
Sheesh.
13 base runners in 4 2/3. I mean, that is horrible. So, he wasn't missing any bats. There was traffic all over the bases. Again, it's one start. I don't want to get carried away, but it obviously people seeing Andres Jimenez has 3 home runs so far. That can clean up for the Blue Jays. And again, I don't have a problem with that. They traded Jimenez, but he's off to a good start. Again, it's only a couple days. Ortiz gets, boat raced in his first start.
How's Josh Naylor doing?
I don't think he has any home runs, but he was good.
He had an RBI double yesterday. I saw that.
2 days ago. On Sunday, they were playing the Cubs. The Cubs had a big lead, and the Diamondbacks rallied with like 6 in the 8th, and he had a big double in that inning. That's what you're talking about. Arizona didn't play yesterday. They were off.
Hey,
whenever I saw it,
you think that was a balk last night? Well, I actually stayed and watched that game last night. They had a chance, and it was the 6th or 7th.
Yeah.
And they had 2 on, no outs.
Bull was
I think I might have missed that play.
I'm sorry. It was
No.
It was kind of like the play of the game.
I read about it after.
My bad.
No, it's fine.
I
was watching the whole game too, but as I said before, I was falling asleep during the last couple of innings.
Dude, it was like 10:30 at night, dude. It's all good.
So I didn't see that play. I read about it, but I didn't see it. No, that's fine. I didn't see it, so I should have gone back and watched it.
All right. So what happened was runners on.
Yeah.
Was the 6th inning? I think it was. They were down.
It's about the time I was falling
asleep. They were
asleep.
down 2 runs.
Yeah.
It was 4-2.
Right.
And they were down, and they 2 on, no outs.
Yeah.
And there was what Rick Manning thought was a balk.
Right, and they didn't call it.
They didn't call it, and so they got the runner out at second,
right.
And then the other runner, I forget who it was, held up the third baseman.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have touched the guy. He wouldn't. So they called him out for interference. So there was 2 outs, and then next, I forget who came up, and they got a single, and he would have had 2 runs.
I want to see if I could watch it on the MLB app.
I'm sure you can.
The good news was seeing Jose hit a home run.
He was was he 3 for 4 last night?
I thought the wrist thing was going to be serious.
Yeah.
He was 3 for 4.
Yeah.
That was a major positive. His first at bat is a home run.
Yeah. So was Hedges, wasn't it?
Yeah, Anthony's off to 1 home run this season.
Yeah. Didn't I say Hedges was going to hit over the number?
What was it, 2.5? Or was
I think Bull went with 4.
Austin Hedges. I feel like he always kind of hits a home run. Nah, it's not on the highlights. I'm going to have to find it to see it. Like I said, I was in and out in the middle of the game. fighting to stay awake, and I think I missed it, and I should have gone back and watched it, but I didn't read about it until after the game, and then I didn't go back and watch it, so I'll have to watch it later to see if it was.
Who's on the mound? Who's on the mound today?
It's Logan Allen versus Michael King today.
Right, which is a major advantage for the Padres. Michael King, who obviously got smoked in his first start.
Will Logan Allen do better than Ortiz?
It's kind of hard to do worse.
Why are we showing Logan Allen's stats from last year and Michael King's from just one start this year?
Because he had one start this year. And
it's an odd choice.
We made the choice. I like this choice. I support Earl in that choice.
Michael King's
a very good pitcher.
But it's misleading because Michael King had a great year last year.
Well, when Logan Allen has one game, we'll put one game versus one game.
One game stats are meaningless.
Austin Hedges has 100% home run rate in games he's played this season. So
That's
you
true.
tell me there's a meaningless stat.
He is on pace
for like 60 home runs.
Potentially, if he plays 60 games, yeah. I didn't like the fact that Kyle Manzardo wasn't in the lineup last night. I don't understand why they did that. When you guys off to his hottest start. What's that?
He'll be in there today.
Well, and by the way, he needs to play first base today. Give Carlos Santana a day off. Let the kid play first base for crying out loud, Stephen Vogt.
Yeah, what is up with that? Have we gotten any clarity? Is he not a good defender? Like objectively bad? Is that?
It's very rare that a young player is a bad defender.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless he's like built like Kyle Schwarber, who is just looks like more of a football player. I mean, Kyle Manzardo looks like a normal baseball player. There's no I don't remember how good he was in the minors. I'm sure he's at least adequate. Let him play a little first base. He's going to be the everyday first baseman next year. So I think he should. But anyway, the game wasn't worth watching much once the Pirates tacked on those runs. Padres tacked on those runs, and it was 7-1 or whatever it was.
Yeah, so. And it was 7-2.
Yeah, so it's a bad game. You flush it. You move on to the next one.
So what are you looking for tonight, Bull?
What for tonight?
What are you looking for tonight? Hopefully the Guardians can rebound. The Padres are 5-0, by the way.
Who's on the bump tonight?
Logan Allen.
Logan Allen. Yeah, I mean, I don't have high hopes for this start because I'm not a big fan of Logan Allen, and I really like Michael King. Hopefully tonight, after falling asleep during the game last night, I'll be able to stay up through the whole game tonight. But hopefully the Guardians will make it worth watching. I want to see Kyle Manzardo will be back in the lineup tonight. We'll see Nolan Jones in the lineup tonight. King's a righty. But that was disappointing because Kyle Hart, I thought they could take advantage of him, and they didn't. Obviously, they hit very well in the Kansas City series. And look at that. We got a three-way tie for first. By the way, do you know the Chicago White Sox, who will suck, yes, even though they're 2-2 to start the season, their starting pitchers in 4 games have not given up an earned run. I don't think anybody had that in their baseball bingo card.
You don't think that?
Not much to take out of last night, except the major positive was Jose, as you said, looking healthy.
How confident are you that the White Sox finished dead last in the division?
Oh, 100% they'll finish dead last. But kudos to them for their pitching being good so far.
Right now.
They haven't given up an earned run. Their starting pitching hasn't given up an earned run. But that'll go away.
Last question on the Guards. We'll move on to our last topic.
Yeah.
But obviously a rough debut for Ortiz.
Yeah.
You mentioned he wasn't great in spring training. At what point, if he has another rough start, when do we start having to at least not take the panic button out, but at least figure out where it is?
They're
3 starts, 4 starts?
They're going to give him a month, which is 5-6 starts. If he's terrible, then you consider. The problem is their only 2 other starting options right now are pitching in the bullpen. So if you're going to replace him with Cantillo or McKenzie, and McKenzie pitched pretty well last night late in the game. I mean, like I said, I didn't see it at the end, but I just reading about it, he pitched well. So that was a positive. But those guys are not going to be stretched out. They're not going to be, ready to go 5-6 innings. So if you do make the switch to McKenzie or Cantillo, I could see if Ortiz is struggling, like after 3-4 starts, I could see them sending Cantillo down to the minors, having him make a start or 2 down in AAA, and then coming up and replacing Ortiz. But hopefully that won't happen. He's got talent, and it's just 1 start. Hopefully they'll be able to. The Guardians are usually pretty good when it comes to pitching and being able to fix these guys that are having some issues. But it's been pretty ugly so far for the Guardians in terms of Ortiz.